The Las Vegas Raiders have completed rookie minicamp and are now just a few days away from the start of OTAs, organized team activities, and mandatory minicamp is on the way as well. Now, over the past few days and weeks, we've experienced and went through the entirety of rookie minicamp and saw guys like Ashton Jeanty, we saw guys like Jack Bech and Dont'e Thornton and so many more. Charles Grant, Darien Porter. And in this video, what I wanted to do specifically was break down some of the biggest standouts that Pete Carroll and John Spytek were able to really notice, right? And they stood out. The takeaways from rookie minicamp and what to expect going into OTAs and mandatory minicamp, which again, we will be covering. Now, before we dive into all of that, the news, notes, highlights, standouts from rookie minicamp, I do want you guys to do me a big favor, and I want to give credit where credit is due, and that is with all of the Raiders media members over there, man. Without them, these videos are just simply not possible to make. So do me a favor and go follow them on Twitter or X if you haven't already done so, because they will be keeping you guys updated with all the news, notes, highlights before I even post these videos. So go give them a follow. And with that being said, let's break down 2 or 3 of the biggest standouts from rookie minicamp. And let me tell you or show you who to really look for in the next couple of weeks. Now, the first guy I want to talk about is an insane athletic specimen in Darien Porter. I mean, the size, the speed, the elusiveness, the fluidity within the hips, and also dude, the catch radius is absolutely insane, okay? Now, a lot of people like to compare him to a guy like Richard Sherman, who obviously you can kind of see the comparisons because he's a former wide receiver turned DB, and he's got all those athletic traits. But he is a little bit different. He's a little bit taller, and honestly, he's probably one of the best and most efficient zone corners in this year's NFL draft with a small sample size. But when it came to team activities in rookie minicamp, this guy's athletic ability just stood out among everybody. I mean, the 6'4" frame, this guy was probably the fastest player on the field, maybe outside of Dont'e Thornton, who's also a freak of nature as well. But this dude has a 4.3 40-yard dash, was the 3rd fastest time of any player in attendance. And overall, Pete Carroll was like, whoa. This guy is a little bit different. They selected him 68th overall in this year's NFL draft, and man, were they pumped to get this dude. Not only is he a specimen on the field, but off the field, he's probably one of the best people you can ever meet. Okay, he's very likable, and this entire draft class is very, very similar. Good human beings, and that's what you're looking for. Guys that want to work hard, that want to be coached, but ultimately are just good people. Darien Porter not only stood out on the field, but off the field as well. He is an amazing human, and again, I think that goes a long way in terms of building a culture. Now, another guy that looks amazing is Jack Bech and Dont'e Thornton. Both these guys look incredible. Add 2 different type of things when it comes to the wide receiver position. Dont'e Thornton in college ran a couple of different routes, but didn't have a an expanded route tree. Was really just goes, skinny posts, and plays to stretch the defense, right? But Jack Bech can kind of do everything and anything that you'd want in a player. But they both add very similar aspects when it comes to physicality, especially in the running game, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Dont'e Thornton, when he played at Oregon, was asked a lot to block a lot, okay? And he was a very willing and efficient run blocker as a wide receiver. Jack Bech is very, very similar. He might be a little bit more established in that area because he was asked to do it a lot more. But Jack Bech is the guy that I am absolutely enamored with in terms of his true ability to just be a difference maker for this football team. Because now you look at these wide receivers and you see 3, maybe even 4 guys, including the tight ends, that want to block for the running back. This running attack is going to be vicious. You have Dont'e Thornton, who again, willing run blocker. You have Jack Bech, who is a willing run blocker. You have Jacoby Myers, who might be one of the best run blockers in the NFL at the wide receiver position. He just is willing to do it. And then from there, you have a couple of other guys that are cool as well, right? Trey Tucker, he might not be amazing in run blocking, but he's a field stretcher. So again, they have 3 guys that are going to help them run the football, and guys that aren't selfish, guys that are also really good human beings. And obviously, I could sit here all day and talk about Ashton Jeanty, and maybe we'll do so a little bit later in this video. But man, some of these wide receivers that they've added are going to be absolute massive pickups. And man, throughout mandatory minicamp, I'm excited just to see how much of a role that they play early on in the season. And honestly, Jack Bech, I think he might be one of the most exciting players to watch because he's got tremendous fork. Here he is. Look how quick this dude is in and out of his breaks. I mean, he's amazing. Now, I will say, not Darien Porter, Dont'e Thornton fork isn't as established, but again, he wasn't asked to run too many routes in college outside of a skinny post. So again, he's got a lot of developing to do, but man, the overall potential is insane. He could be like a DK Metcalf type of player to get down the field and make big time plays. So Geno Smith might be absolutely hyped to get a guy like Dont'e Thornton into the room. Now, before we break down any more, I want to talk a little bit about Ashton Jeanty. Before we do so, I need you guys to do me a favor and hit the like button if you haven't already done so. Look at this, Pete Carroll. He's got his football gloves on. I mean, this dude, you can't tell how old he is. He's just an absolute ball of energy. So, love Pete Carroll. But do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Most importantly, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you are new because it is free. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and we will be covering this Las Vegas Raider team. I am a Raider fan, by the way, so you already know I'm going to be giving you guys a ton of coverage, maybe more than you'd want, but we got you guys covered. So we're going to do unlimited amount of Las Vegas Raiders content throughout the entirety of not only OTAs, right, which is in the next couple of days. I believe the 19th is day 1 of OTAs, so we got you guys covered in terms of that. Geno Smith, Ashton Jeanty, Dont'e Thornton. I mean, man, it's going to be fun. And then after that, you got mandatory minicamp, you got training camp in a couple of months. Things are going to get fun. Now, I did want to sit here and talk a little bit about Ashton Jeanty, but if I'm being honest, it is really hard to decipher how good a running back is truly going to be before we get into OTAs and mandatory minicamp, just because, you know, there's no pads, there's no contact, and there's not really an ability to impress. You're just doing individual drills. So, with that being said, I'm going to save you guys some time. I'm not going to sit here and talk about Ashton Jeanty because you guys have heard endless amount of talk. But what I will say real quickly before we end this video is I am super excited because a change of culture, a shift of energy is starting to take place among this Raiders team. And if you can't see it yet, you will very, very soon. Pete Carroll is changing everything with this football team, and you can tell how they warm up before practice. That energy between not only the players and each other, but the coaches, all of them, right? These guys are activated, they're having fun, and again, at the end of the day, this game is about having fun together as a team and building chemistry, and I feel like throughout rookie minicamp, they're already doing that. I mean, we're seeing guys already talk about how much fun that they're having, and you're supposed to have fun. If it's not fun, then you're going to see it as a job, and if you see it as a job, you're going to hate it every single day. But for this Raiders team right now, they're having a blast, and a lot of people have already came out and said it. So let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, and I'll see you guys in the part 2 coming out on the 19th. We're going to break down actual practice of OTAs. I cannot wait for that, and I'll see you then.